Okay, this is for Greg from 7SOGs, if you can read backwards in my weird air writing. So this isn't really a regular video, and this is actually a video about something I've never ever talked about on YouTube and never really thought that I was going to, but nothing stays the same. So Greg asked, when did you realize that you were gay, or when did you become comfortable with it? Something like that. And for yourself, not to other people. So I have to deal with that in two waves, I guess. I'm going to be really quick. The first question, when did you realize? Unfortunately, I'm not sure. I was the last person to realize in my life, I guess. Everybody else assumed or figured or did realize it. I was the last to know. I was treated very badly as a like a middle school student when I was 11 and started middle school. Not everybody, but the majority of the school would tease me about being gay and call me names and lots of other stuff that we just don't need to talk about. But because of all that stuff, gay became associated with something very, very bad, something that I just did not want to be. It had nothing to do with sexual orientation. It just became bad, and that began a long road of difficulty accepting and becoming comfortable with it. I think I really did realize it sometime in high school. I do remember there was a really good-looking wrestler that I was like, wow. My family knew early on, I'm sure. Some people have said that they've known since the time of the jelly shoes when I was a little kid. I don't know if anybody remembers. Jelly shoes were from like the 80s. I don't know why I put my pen down because you can't really show what they are with hands. They're made out of like plastic. Mine were blue. My sister had some pink ones, and I'd put them on and dance around because I wanted to be Fred Astaire. And so some of my family says they knew since then. And there were a lot of different signs. Another one was like in elementary school, I always opted to be on the girls' team for games at recess because it was funner to be chased by boys. So it took, I guess realization perhaps in high school. Comfortableness, the final answer, that sounds stupid, maybe 4 months ago. Completely comfortable. It began when I was in seminary and monastery because when you're training to be a priest, you go through a lot of character development and like just formation. There's lots and lots of formation. Some people hate it. I thought it was wonderful because I began to like myself and become comfortable with who I was, understand who I was, understand things that have gone on in my life and stuff. And it was really when I really came to terms with stuff that I was like, well, I think I want to try my life at something else. I still miss the monastery and all that stuff, but I think I made the right decision to leave. After the monastery, I went back to Wyoming for a little bit. Wyoming, not a gay-friendly place at all. Just Matthew Shepard was kind of the culmination of everything, but that's just kind of the what am I trying to say? The way people feel about it on the whole. Obviously, they're not everybody, but I've noticed that the minority often is the voice of what happens. Even though like America is democratic and democracy is supposed to be the majority, people that are usually in the minority are the ones that end up ruling things, it seems, because the minority are the people that are like the fanatics and the crazies, and they have a much louder voice than your average person because most people just don't want to step out or say things. And so you've got the crazies and the haters that are always saying stuff because they want to be heard and they just want to be loud. And when that's all that's being heard, then it seems like it's everybody. But when I was in Wyoming, I kept myself closeted. And then I moved to Japan, and I was like, you know what, I'm done hiding, I'm just going to be myself. And here people basically just realize it. I don't have to tell people. If they ask, then I'm like, yeah. And it wasn't until this year, just a few months ago, that I finally came out to my family. Their responses were good. My dad was like, well, I've had a few years to get used to it. He's not ecstatic about it. He's glad that I'm able to be comfortable with myself finally, though. And my mom was just like, what took you so long? And it's like, oh. And so now that I've told them, it's been much better. And the reason I told them was that I found somebody, I've got a boyfriend now that we've been dating for a few months, and I wanted to be able to introduce him to my family eventually. So I don't think I would have come out if I didn't have him. But, so now, yeah, I am finally happy about it. There are times when I still wish I were straight, because life would be easier if I were straight. But I'm not, there's no way I will be. I am basically, I'm one of those that's like 100% gay. It's like, you can't really get much gayer. I don't really fit in with the gay community, which is odd, but there's no way that I could be straight. Like, there's been times when I've wished I were just for, like, I've got a really good girlfriend here, and she's just like, why are all men pigs? And I was like, I don't know, we should just get married. And she's like, well, she asked me once, she's like, would you just go straight and marry me? And I was like, well, I would, but I can't, I'm sorry. So, yeah. But, I won't move back to the States. Apparently it is not as bad as my experience was, but I still just don't want to move back to the States because of it. I want to live with my boyfriend, hopefully eventually, like, life partner, whatever you want to call it, I have no idea. Freely and, like, openly. I don't want to have to hide in public just because people are like, ew. It's like, if you love somebody, why does it matter? And it's taken me 25 years to get used to it, but I finally did. So, I hope that's good, Greg. If you have any other questions, I'll try to answer them sometime, but this is finally kind of short, so I'm going to end it. HIS and pink. It's actually for a travel company, but it's rather fitting for this video, I think. Anyway, bye-bye.